The Tales series has been getting a lot of popularity in the West at long last, and we're one step closer to finally taking over the world. It's safe to say that we still haven't quite reached the popularity of Japan, nor do I think we ever will, but hey, what can you do? However, it's becoming a lot less niche, which is pretty awesome in of itself. But I'm a greedy American, and I want more. Specifically, I want spin-offs. There are so many side games that I would love to see come to the West, like the remaining Tales of the World games, maybe Versus, etc, etc. But some of those spin-offs are a bit dated, like, well, the rest of the Tales of the World games. And Versus, yeah, I really didn't think that one through. I think it'd be cooler to get some new spin-offs made by a smaller team of developers from Bamco. It's great how we're getting all these mothership titles, and I hope that we'll get the ones we missed out on, but I would love to see the series expand so that we can get more titles besides the 40-hour minimum JRPGs we've been receiving. I need more free time, my dudes. This series is taking over too much of my time. It's driving me crazy, but I love it. Somebody save me! That just begs the question, what kind of spin-offs could we get? Well, there are many different things that could happen, so let me give you 5 ideas I came up with to get some juices flowing, ideas thrown out there, and giving us dedicated time to cry over concepts that'll probably never happen. Being a non-Japanese Tales fan is so hard, guys. As of late, the Dynasty Warriors games have been delving more and more into other franchises' territory. Well, kinda. Really, they've just collaborated with Nintendo for Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. Both great games, by the way, just throwing that out there. And it got me thinking about a Tales of Warriors. I love how different Tales characters interact with each other whenever this series has the giant crossovers between all the games in the apps and the Tales of the World entries, but combining that with the Warriors gameplay, that'd be way too cool to not happen. Actually, according to my research, it already did. It's Japan exclusive, of course, and it's titled Tales of the Heroes Twin Braves. Let's check it out. Oh! Alright, let's move on. Didn't think it needed to be said, but this will be on Steam, PS4, and the Switch. Maybe Xbox One if we're feeling generous. Each character could really stand out from one another, having loads of arts to choose from and different fighting styles. Many of them use swords, but the way they fight are all completely different. Mila combining swordsmanship with her great spirits and spirit shifting, Lloyd's dual blades, Ludger's knives, guns, and hammer. The sky's the limit. Wanted to highlight this because Fire Emblem Warriors has me paranoid for too many characters playing the same. This game shouldn't have that issue, but you know. And with side characters, free DLC in the form of even more characters to play as, the maps and boss potential in extra mode akin to adventure and history mode, it'd give hours and hours of fun. This will be a great way for Bamco to ease into spin-off territory, as I don't think it'd be that hard to develop. I mean, I don't know much about game development, so that might not mean much coming from me, but I'm just trying to get my opinions out there. The hardest part would be the story, and tons of character interactions, but gotta warm up somehow, I suppose. Everybody would win in this situation. The Bamco developers could get their feet wet with spin-off territory, the Tales fans would get a new Tales game to play that won't take up too much of their time but could still sink hours and hours upon fun gameplay, and if anything, we just would have beat up thousands of enemies as Sophie on top of rock renditions of our favorite Tales songs. You know you want it. Taking a break from the action-heavy games, I'm kinda surprised the party game hasn't happened yet. The Mothership titles have always had mini-games to do, and the recent ones have been getting a lot more lately, so a spin-off with a heavier focus on the multiplayer and said mini-games would be great. Yes, this idea is pretty out there, but hear me out. Please. Ideally, this would be like Mario Party, with boards based on various locations in the game. Maybe each world could get their own respective board, like one for Terra Lumere, another for Olympias, so on and so forth. Minigames could be simpler versions of the ones we got in the Mothership titles, and many more based off the series' gameplay. I can just imagine a minigame with the players free running through a maze that has a different layout each time you play, or utilizing the dodging system in Grace's F to see who can survive the longest without getting hit. I don't really know what the rules for winning the overall game would be, I haven't really thought that far, but it can be something creative, or, you know, just copy Mario Party and get the most of X or Y. That always seems to work, right? Honestly, I just want a fun game to play with my friends that star the Tales characters I've grown to love, so I'm down for a lot of ideas. I'd low-key be afraid that this would end up as some cheap anime party game with no effort whatsoever, which is a very real fear, let's not fool ourselves. But with a little personality and making sure that it's not too overly complicated, I could see a lot of fun times being had with a game like this. Fun times as in you losing your friends. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I adore the multiplayer aspect of the Tales game, so let's take that to the next level. I really want an MMORPG for the Tales franchise. It'd be so cool! Oh my gosh, why did you have to show me that? Alright, never mind, I don't want this anymore. Let's go to the next one. Kidding. Hear me out. We can fix this. I know Bamco hasn't been very good with these as of late, but believe in them. Oh, that one hurt coming out. Part of what makes the SAO game so bad is, well, the SAO factor, like the story, Kirito, excessive fan service, Kirito, and freaking Kirito! So I think this being a Tale spinoff would help just a little bit. Just a little. As for the gameplay, well, I can only hope. I'll give my 2 cents anyway though, because I really like this idea and would love to see it done right. Having dozens of worlds to travel through with each being completely open and begging to be explored, customizing my own character to interact with the iconic heroes and villains, it would be a dream come true to say the least. And I'd be able to do it all playing with my friends online. Does that not sound amazing? The story? I mean, it'd be something alright, but I'd be too focused on exploration and side quests to even care. I'd want the combat to lean more on the modern games like Grace's Hysteria and Berseria, as I feel that's much better with multiplayer, especially in MMO. And I of course want original locations on top of allowing us to explore the worlds in the other games. Maybe if having every world is too much, we can have one big open world with various aspects taken from across the franchise. The possibilities are actually endless, especially if Bamco were to keep adding content. I'd of course want dedicated servers for consistent online connection, and cross-platform play should be a thing in order to make this the best it could possibly be. And with the PC's mod support? You know, I just realized that's kind of a transition into this next topic, and I didn't really mean to, but I did anyway. I'm a genius. What can I say? I think it would be so cool to see a strategy RPG of the Tale series. As a fan of Fire Emblem, I may be a bit biased in this thought process, but I think it would be cool and able to stand out as something different than the Emblem of Fire. Of course, Bamco already developed a few strategy RPGs, and I'm sure most of you are thinking of the one that I'm thinking of, Project Cross Zone. I actually got introduced to the series this way, and I think this formula could work. Now, there will need to be a lot of tweaking, like not having every chapter last 2 hours on minimum, ease up on the enemy reinforcements, maybe lower the enemy health bars, and add more to the strategy aspect rather than just the XP bar. Maybe have map gimmicks that don't completely flip the rules on its head, different character classes and abilities, alternate routes in terms of going chapter to chapter, a world map with some exploration, and a crap ton of Tales characters to recruit. Make it so that there are dozens upon dozens of characters, like in, say, Suikoden. You can only bring so many into battle, but this way none of the characters from past entries are left out of the game, and it gives people options on top of replay value. Not to mention another layer of strategy in terms of what characters you use to make up your party. I would also like this game to have Project Cross Zone's combat system. You know, when you actually pick the attack option and get to do the combo yourself. That was the best part of the game, bar none. I want it. And the story, let's keep it simple. No need to make it overly complicated like said Project Cross Zone, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was still a convoluted mess. Oh well. As long as the gameplay is fun and I have character interactions between the entry's party members and potentially others, I'd be good with the game as a whole. And you already know it's gotta be on the Switch. Can I get an amen in the comments section? Finally, and what I want the most, a tag team fighting game. Now, I think about this a lot, if I'm being honest, because I really want it. So let me explain myself for a little bit. Fighting games are great, and tag team battling is my favorite. So, if we got HD hand-drawn sprites of our favorite fighters like BlazBlue, combo-heavy gameplay, and an all-star cast of characters to play as, it would be amazing. If this were to happen, I'd cry. I'd cry a lot. These characters already have so much to work with in terms of movesets, and you could add different techniques to make this stand apart from other games in the genre. This game could still have arts and normal attacks, and maybe make AC or CC a combat mechanic. Yeah, burst arts and low-tier mystic arts for specials, and a character's final mystic art for their finisher or ultimate attack. Literally, this stuff writes itself. Not to mention the multiplayer versus and co-op, the online play? Dude! We gotta be careful about DLC though. At least give us the base cast from each of the mothership titles, then for DLC we can get bonus characters like some of the non-playable villains and side characters. Can you imagine being able to play as the likes of Maxwell, Barbados, the one and only Phoenix? The more I think about this, the more I want it, because there's just too much potential. If we can only get one spin-off, I'd want it to be this. Not only would it work the best, but it'd provide the most fun out of all these in my opinion. Tales of Versus seems like it could provide some fun, although I can't deny that it looks very clunky. This would be fast-paced 2D fighting game action that people would be able to pick up and play, and give fighting game enthusiasts a system that's tough yet rewarding to master. It's not overly complicated, could have depth, would implement elements that make this franchise what it is, and above all else, it allowed for us to play as a bunch of our favorite Tales characters in a game that isn't a JRPG for a change. That's pretty freaking cool. You know, I hope in the near future we get some spin-offs. I personally would love to see any, if not all, these become a reality someday, and I think that I speak for everyone when I say that we want more from this franchise because we love these characters and want to spend more time with them. In the few spin-offs we did get, there was a lot of interaction between unlikely combos of personalities, and I eat that stuff up. Not to mention, it's just fun to take a different spin on a beloved franchise. Only time will tell if we'll be getting something new and fresh, but here's hoping that the tales will continue to be told in many formats for years to come. Or, you know, just put Yuri Lowell in Smash Brothers, baby!